So it got me thinking about these videos I keep seeing on YouTube. They're always suggested videos to me about Larry Bird. They're like Larry Bird stories. It's always I grew up watching Larry Bird play. He was good, but these stories about, Larry Bird played the whole game left-handed, had 78 points and 72 rebounds. Like, no, he didn't. Like, it's always, like everything else, it always, gets bigger, better, the longer it goes. The stories people tell. But I have my own Larry Bird story a little bit. Like, first off, on Larry Bird, I've always thought, number one, his face looks like he just got done saying sassafras. Like, every picture I see of him, it looks like he literally just got done saying, like, sassafras, and that's how his lips ended up. That will make no sense to some of you and make perfect sense to others of you, and that's the only way I can explain it. I've always wondered on Larry Bird how you could be that arrogant when you have to look at that face in the mirror every morning. I would think that would bring you back down to earth and bring you some humility immediately. You start thinking, I'm one of the greatest basketball players that ever lived. I had played a whole game left-handed and scored 72 points. I'm a millionaire. Oh, look at that face in the mirror. Never mind. I'm not so great after all. I would think, anyway, like I said, I think that would bring you back down to earth quick if you had that look on your face. It'd be like, I coached the Pacers almost to a championship, to the finals. I beat Jordan in the NBA playoffs. I'm one ugly bastard. Doesn't really matter I accomplished that stuff. I still have to have this face. Sassafras. So anyway, I was at a Pacer game when Larry Bird was the general manager. He was a great general manager. He loved to draft only white guys who couldn't play basketball. Like, it was his thing. I don't know why. It was always every draft pick. It was like he was going to find the next Larry Bird, he thought. So I had season tickets one year, and my tickets were really close to where Larry Bird sat and watched the team that he had assembled, the horrible team he had assembled. And during the games, little kids would come up and try to get autographs from him, and he would just wave them off, wouldn't even look at them. Just hold up his giant, crooked-ass hand and, wave them off like he didn't want to be bothered. Then, if it were during a timeout or any kind of break in the action, he would maybe reach over, grab a ticket. He wouldn't sign anything but a ticket, because God forbid anyone make money off Larry Bird's name except Larry Bird. Plus, if I had that face, I wouldn't want to sign anything that had that face on it either if I were him. But he would sign the ticket stub, because I guess those aren't worth anything if you try to sell them. And he would sign them real quick and just, a little scribble and hand it back to him. And then he would get up at halftime, I guess, to go in and talk to the team or look at the team be talked to. And he would look straight ahead, and people would be like, Larry, and waving at him. He's from Indiana originally, so he's a big deal, here in Indiana. Bigger than most anywhere else, I would guess, except maybe Boston. But they would all be waving at him. People want to take a picture. He would just shake his head and the same thing, like he's God. He's too good for everybody. And walk out with his big gangly ass. They say 6'9". That dude's 7'9" if he's a foot. He's big, goofy-ass bastard. Anyway, I saw Larry Bird on multiple occasions just completely tell kids to sassafras off on many occasions. So, not a big Larry Bird fan. I'm not a fan of a lot of NBA players. I was kind of going off on Shaq last week. I don't want to get back into that this week. You guys have probably had enough basketball stories. I just wanted to tell you guys that Larry Bird looks like he just got done saying sassafras.